It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. We are up dead early on another fantastic Friday, and we're so glad that you can join us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, and a happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. I keep saying this every week. It's another week. It's Friday. We have to celebrate the small successes. And so we've got to Friday. You conquered everything you needed during the week, and you're getting ready to celebrate, have a nice weekend. Maybe you're going to have a hype weekend. But we made it, everybody.
Yes, yes, we pushed through the week. This was a long week for me. I had a lot of not great surprises, but you know, I was actually very proud of myself. I kept a positive attitude, and here we are.
Yeah, I also had a long week, and you know, for me, I actually thought school started next week for my children, so I was all geared up. I was in school mode, getting ready to start laying out uniforms. It's like Christmas is coming. But
I
know. We have another week. I love you, children, all of you.
Womp,
You're
womp,
great.
womp.
One more week until school starts, everybody, and then my house can recover. My fridge can stay closed, and I can have something to eat. It's, you know, it's great, right?
Yeah.
But summertime has been good, and I hope you guys enjoyed your summer, and we hope you enjoy the show with us today. We've got a great show. Before we go on, want to send condolences to the friends and family of Brother Paul Hanna, the jazz legend, has been on this show many times. He and his wife, Tanya, performing for us here. He's performed all over the country, all over the world. They have a foundation that has supported so many kids to have musical education, to go off to school and scholarships. Their son, Troika, is carrying on the legacy. And I just want to say once again, condolences to the Hanna family. Brother Paul, we see you, man. Rise in power. We got a great show for you today. The Bahamas Distilling Company is here to tell us about their UK distribution deal, and Dr. Collins Thomas will be joining us to provide some back-to-school health tips for those little ones.
Also in today's show, we'll be hearing from the 2023 CARIFTA Triathlon and Aquathlon taking place this weekend. And we'll be finding out about the Department of Labor's registration drive. TCL invites you to our Fall Business Outlooks. Next month, join us in Abaco on September 21st for the Abaco Business Outlook. Save the date for the Exuma Business Outlook on October 19th and round out the year with the Long Island Business Outlook on November 16th. Registration is $120. Early registration is $100. Students can attend for $90, and a virtual ticket is $70. Now, let's check on weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at the weather at sunrise, we do have a weak high pressure across the islands, also some troughing across the extreme northwest Bahamas, and that trickled off some pockets of showers during the afternoon hours. Today, we're looking at a lovely day in store weather-wise, partly sunny, very warm, and there's a chance of a few quick passing showers. A couple of clouds in the southeastern islands, still a little busy, a little breezy, with a few isolated showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. High temperature 91. Heat index 103. Tonight, a few clouds around with a few lingering showers, mainly in the southeastern islands. The low going down to 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 86 and 80. In Jamaica, 1978. In Trinidad, 1978. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 89 and 77. Across North America, Atlanta, 97 and 75. In Boston, 71 and 63. In Miami, 91 and 79. Dallas, Texas, 184, and Toronto, Canada, 77 and 63. As you do the weekend, That weak high pressure will be the dominant of the feature, so you go with hot temperatures, humid conditions, also some light winds across the islands, a few passing showers. So for the most part, we're looking at sunny skies, hot and humid, with a few passing showers. So temperature daytime will be in the lower 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s to lower 80s. That puts you up on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. The Bahamas is set to host the 2023 CARIFTA Triathlon and Aquathlon Championships happening this weekend. I'm going to allow the entire team to introduce themselves because we have a new member of the team, so we'll start with you, Coach.
Good morning. My name is Dorian Roach. I'm the president of the Bahamas Triathlon Association.
Good morning. My name is Marco Sabali. I'm the head coach for the team.
Good morning. My name is Grace Farrington. I'm an athlete.
Good morning. My name is Sienna Mackey, and I'm also an athlete.
Okay, so can you tell us about the significance of the Bahamas hosting the triathlon? And this is the first time I'm ever hearing of an aquathlon.
Yeah, so it's been great. We've been looking forward to hosting it for a while. We first won the bid actually back in 2020, but thanks to COVID, there was a 2-year break, and so we're back on hosting it again. This is the 5th edition of the championship, and we're excited to host it. Aquathlon is just the run and the swim and the run without the bike.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a different version of it. Yeah.
And how has the team been preparing? It sounds like a really demanding experience.
It is, and I'll let our head coach kind of give you more information on that.
Absolutely.
They have been doing really good. We have been working together. During the week, they have been doing stuff on their own, and then we have been gathering all together during the weekends. Weather has been kind of in the way, but we have been able to make it work. They are looking really good. I am very excited about this weekend. I think that they can't wait to race. They have been working so hard for so long that, you know, they just want to show what they have been working on. So yeah, this weekend is going to be exciting.
Can you talk about the selection criteria? You know, what skills do you consider when you're choosing someone for the team?
Sure. Well, so basically, we have a couple of qualifying events.
Okay.
There's 2 or 3 qualifying events throughout the year, and each time they race, they get a certain amount of points. So we're allowed to take 5 people per age group. So the top 5 in every age group at the end of the season will basically get a spot.
Which teams from various countries are going to be participating?
So we have teams from, I hope I get them all right now, Aruba, Antigua, Barbados, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, who else am I missing? Trinidad, and Tobago, and there's 9 altogether, so that's 7, so I'm missing 2. Well, obviously Bahamas, that's right,
Right.
1 more. So we have 1 more. So it's 9 countries, which is the average. It's either 9 or 10 countries that normally compete every year.
Okay.
There'll be 153 athletes, and Team Bahamas, we have 36 athletes. Our biggest team by far. Our biggest team before this was, I think, 20 or 21.
So, Coach, you mentioned that we are separating the groups by age categories. Is there a way that you tailor the training to suit different age categories?
That has been one of the most challenging parts of the training. Thankfully, we have had a lot of help from parents, volunteers, and in terms of training. So we have been able to split every training session and every age group focus on their distance and what they're supposed to be working on. In the meantime, that everybody gets the advantage of the whole training session. At the same time, it is a combination of aquathlon and triathlon. So you have athletes that are only doing the aquathlon, and you have athletes that are only doing the triathlon. So or actually triathletes are doing the aquathlon as well, but when it comes down to the training, you have to separate them. You have to let the triathletes do their training separate from the aquathletes. So it has been challenging, but at the same time, I think that we have been able to, get the work done, and like I said, thankfully to people around the course in terms of like parents and volunteers, we have been able to get it done, keeping always the safety for the kids, because yeah, that is a big part. It is a lot of logistic behind you. It is not like you have everybody concentrated in one single spot, like swimming or track. You have people cycling, you have athletes cycling, you have athletes running, you have athletes swimming. So there is a lot of moving parts. It can be quite challenging.
I want to speak to Grace and Sienna. Just want to find out why participate in the triathlon or aquathlon. So tell me your event and why you chose it.
Okay, so I'm doing the aquathlon, and basically I decided to do it because I swim and I do track and field, so it was kind of like the perfect thing. And so I tried it earlier this year, and I really liked it, and I did it again, and I said, okay, I'll do it.
Honestly, it was more of like my mother asking me, do you want to do this? I'm like, I don't even know what this is. So then I participated and I made the team, and then I kind of like grew a love for it. And now I want to be better in it. I want to improve all my skills and all my disciplines.
There's nothing like a gentle shove from mom or your parents in general. So when and where is this event taking place?
So it's at Goodman's Bay. Opening ceremonies start today at 5:30 p.m. at Goodman's Bay also. And then the first event starts Saturday morning at 7:30 and goes until about 12 o'clock. And then on Sunday we start again at 7:30 and go on till about 2:30. And Sunday we'll have the relay events as well, which is at the end, which is going to be really fun and exciting to watch, mixed relay. So we'll be out there. These guys will be competing, and we just kind of want to ask the general public to be aware of the roads around Bahamas and Goodman's Bay, as they will be closed. There will be cyclists and runners on the roads. We just ask them to drive with caution, be a little patient. There might be a little bit of traffic, but be patient with us, and we appreciate it.
And see, I think this is what the public really needs. They just need to know so that they're aware, so then they don't get stuck in traffic. Ladies, it's challenging to swim in open water, to run, to mix all of those things together. What do you enjoy most about it? What do you find most rewarding?
I really like the community and meeting new people, people that I wouldn't meet like anywhere else. Yeah, and I really enjoy like pushing myself because it's very different, like going from swimming and then you get up and you start running, and it's a challenge, but I think that's what I like most.
So where I do two sports, I do the triathlon and the aquathon. It's just learning new things and then learning about a different world from what you already know, because I'm a swimmer. But going into triathlon and doing the aquathon, it's like you have this whole different thing. So you're learning learning something new, because when I started, I recently learned how to ride a bike, and now I'm like making better times, like doing 30 kilometers an hour on the bike. And it's just like, I wasn't able to do that when I started, so it was like also the process, and also meeting new people, because like in the world of triathlon, it's not like other sports where they're like they're intimidating and they're always like pushing you. They're like very welcoming and they're very friendly, and it's very fun. So like everyone looks forward to just like not even just racing, like doing their best, but also like seeing your friends because you're not from the same island.
I love it. That's an inspirational experience. It sounds like an awful lot of fun. Is there anything that the public can do to support other than avoid traffic?
Yeah, I mean, we could always use volunteers. Like I said, it's challenging with people looking after the swimmers when they're in the water, people looking after the cyclists when they're on the roads, and of course the runners when they're on track. So any volunteers, and of course any support, come out there in your Team Bahamas colors. With the 5th place is the highest we've ever finished before, and we're hoping to break the top 3, so we can use everyone's support, everyone's cheers, and we'd appreciate it.
Oh yes, I believe that Team Bahamas is going to take the gold, especially in the Bahamas. So thank you all for coming.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Thank you. Thank you for
Wishing
having
you all
us.
the best. I know we're gonna, in a week or two, y'all will be back here with a trophy.
That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan.
Thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Attention customers, next Tuesday, a major hurricane will cause complete confusion and chaos throughout the entire Bahamas. Water, phone, and internet services will be in short supply. Definite data loss is expected to all local and family island businesses.
Disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. Be ready with push-to-talk service that keeps you connected with your workforce with a simple push of a button. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Island.
Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability, learn basic literacy and numeracy skills, and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.bs or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
Hi, I'm Ria Christina, and I'm super excited to be the new host of You and Your Money, a local international bank that has actually been closing some of their branches. It actually gives me an opportunity to share my views, my take on the financial matters. Even when we think about what's happening globally, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of having to educate business owners as to the importance, the economic impact, and how it is that we can look at improving the Bahamian economy. $1 billion. That's how much we spend every year importing food in this country. It also gives me an opportunity to have conversations, and that's meaningful conversations with thought leaders within our community, even having to see how it is that we can work together or even the opportunities that may exist for many Bahamians. So I'm excited to be here and looking forward to the great conversations that's
Welcome back. Bassett's Rum, produced by Bahamas Distilling Company, which was brought to market by Sumner Strategic Partners, is the first Bahamian rum to be distributed in the UK. Here to tell us more are Alan Bassett. He's the co-founder and chairman of the Bahamas Distilling Company. And we also have Stephen Boon. He is an export consultant. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And we're so excited to hear about this topic. Let's jump right in. Mr. Bassett, tell us a little bit about Bassett's Rum and the Bahamas Distilling Company.
All right, Bahamas Distilling Company was dreamt up a few years back, and we started operations there in Freeport, Grand Bahama, just shy of 3 years ago. Starting a company in a foreign country during a COVID pandemic was probably closer to insanity than anything else I've ever done. But early on in the process, we engaged Edison Sumner of Sumner Strategic Partners, and has been a great help absolutely fantastic in facilitating these, these kind of deals and day-to-day operations and decision making with the distillery. We started Bassett's rum, as we set up the still early on in the process. We've been distilling rum using Bahamian ingredients, using a long ferment with Bahamian yeast, and just putting the essence of the island, if you like, in the spirit, putting it in barrels, and it's been sitting in barrels almost 3 years now. Nice. So we felt like we were ready to get some of this product to market. It's finished in Kentucky bourbon barrels. A really, really enjoyable rum. Well, certainly we think so. It's our pride and joy. The team at the distillery has put it. It takes a lot of work to get to this point, an awful lot of work.
Definitely does, and you have to hone your craft. And I love that your product, has now broken through into a new market.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching your child get to graduate college in Freeport. Everyone at the distillery has had a part to play in this, and it's just this was the dream. This is what we set out to do.
Well, I'll say if you cut most Bahamians, they might bleed rum. So I'm sure they're going to be excited about this project. Mr. Boon, tell us, as an export consultant, what was your role and contribution, not only to the final negotiations, but overall throughout the deal?
I think this is about harmony. It's the Bahamian government, the British government, and having one goal. And that is very unusual. An awful lot of launches. I've done an awful lot of distribution network stuff. And to actually have two governments and a brand owner working in harmony, I think is terrific. And we need to be very proud of the Bahamian government, the way in which they decided they wanted to get behind Bassett's. We need to thank Tom Hartley, the British High Commissioner, for actually getting behind the goal of achieving to get a rum into the UK market. The UK market is actually probably one of the most important spirit markets to be in. Just about every country in the world mimics whiskey, gin. Okay, they don't produce rum, but rum is a growing market. And I was very fortunate to be able to be asked to be the wine and spirit advisor to the British High Commission. We have a very enthusiastic High Commissioner in Tom. The only thing that outstrips him is his height. And if he was in another job, he'd be a basketball player. He's that tall. But seriously, I think what we had on the day of the launch was something that I've never experienced. Awesome. And as I said, I have been to an awful lot of launches. Today, we had 4 high-ranking government officials, 2 from the Bahamas, 2 from the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office. And the excitement from our Bahamian boys was just incredible. I mean, Marche and Anthony, I mean, the guys were skipping around the room. At last, they have an international brand that we can actually introduce the world to Bahama Mamas and Goombay Smash. And that is just fantastic.
That is fantastic. The fact that they were skipping around the room, maybe that's a testament to how good the rum is. So you mentioned the alignment between the governments. Could you highlight any other specific initiatives that led to the successful entry of this product into the UK market?
Well, my role is to actually, we represent global brands. I was very happy to join the team until such point as he told me, actually, you couldn't pay me, but you could invite me to an awful lot of cocktail. Now, you get a Bahamian and you offer him cocktail parties, that's a job description. And I say it's harmony. And I think what we have to do is applaud Alan for really putting his money where his mouth is. Yeah. When I spoke to Edison, he came to me and said, right, we want to get to the UK. How do we do it? And I said, right, this is what it's going to cost. And he went back to Alan. Alan didn't even, I think it was less than 2 hours before I just got, yep, let's go for it. And then I went back to the British High Commissioner. I went back to the Bahamian government and said, okay, it's a goer. I can find a distributor, which we did. We put it out to 3 distribution, single barrel rum, limited edition, high end from the Bahamas. We used to have Bacardi, but that really was that really was a Cuban rum in exile. And that's how it is globally.
Well, I love the way that you place it. I want to just jump back in with Mr. Bassett before you run out of time. How do you think this achievement will impact the perception of Bahamian rum on an international level?
Be the leaders, if you like, toe the line on not just Bahamian rums or Bahamian spirit. My dream was always to send out rum, dressed in the Bahamian flag, to represent the nation. And I think it's almost a pity that there are fewer products at this point that are out there, with proudly Bahamian on them. But I think that people will start to see some of the opportunities, and the governments, certainly in this case, the Bahamian government and the British government have been so helpful, so keen, provided so many resources. I can't thank everybody involved enough. I think that there's a lot of opportunity. There are a lot of Bahamian products out there that on a world.
The last question I have, which is on everybody's mind, how can I get a taste? I hope I don't got to fly to the UK. Let me know where we can find it locally. If we have to fly to Freeport and go wait at the distillery door and bang on the door for the next case. But looking forward to trying the product. And once again, congratulating you on your successes and looking forward to more products coming out of the Bahamas, heading to the UK. And once again, representing the Bahamas and all the great things we have to offer on an international level. So thank you again, gentlemen, for being this morning. And let me know where we can get a taste.
Well, thank you very much. And probably one of our biggest supporters in Nassau is Greycliff, and our products are available through them. So and distribution in the Bahamas is growing, on a weekly basis. So keep your eyes out for Bassett's and other Bahamas Distilling Company products. And thanks again for having us on the show. And hope you and everybody in the Bahamas has a great day.
Thank you so much. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, somebody. Have a little Bassett's. Yes. Have a great morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you.
You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Focall Holdings Limited is proud of its consistent growth and the financial success it continues to bring to many Bahamians who invest in the company. Focall is committed to ensuring optimal financial performance for its shareholders. Focall's leadership remains focused on superior customer service and operational excellence across all sectors. Focall.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. Just when I turn to party, this rock and they got me wet. So, boy, my island's in.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly, enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Good morning, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're up dead early on another fantastic Friday, and we're here at the mid-show. We're so happy that you stuck with us. My name is Mark Daniels.
And I'm Davriel Gardner, and hoping you're still having a happy Friday.
Speaking of happy Friday, shout out to our happy viewers that are watching us, whether it's on TV, you're on your phone, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube. So shout out to Tommy Thompson. We know you're always there watching. And Sister Jennifer, I see you there in the Namastu. Blessings and love. Thank you all for tuning in, and all of our viewers all across the world. You know, we look forward to this every morning we're on the show, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're here for you, and you're here for us. And I also want to shout out, speaking about the show, our star, yes, our star, Anastasia Palacios. Yes. She was involved in the Toastmasters International Speech Competition, which occurred here last week. And let me tell you, this competition started with 35,000 speakers from all across the world. 35,000. Congratulate her, her family, her support team, her coaches. Star continues to represent us on an international stage. We love you. We just want to see great things out of you, and we know next time around that number one position is yours. So congratulations, Star, and your team, and we look forward to great things out of you in the future. That made me so proud, man. I almost well up and cry when I see her made that final 8.
Yeah, when she posted that it was out of 35,000, that really speaks to just how much talent and brilliance that we have in the Bahamas, and that we have had on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Pick up yourself, Star. We love you. We've got more coming up in our second half. Dr. Carlos Thomas will be joining us to provide us with some back-to-school health tips for our little ones.
And we'll also be hearing about the Department of Labor's registration drive for Bahamian professionals. But before all that, we'll take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
To you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel. Good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, we take a look around the tropics. A little busy this morning, and still we have Tropical Storm Franklin still around. And at 5 a.m. this morning, Franklin was located near latitude 22.7 degrees north, longitude 68.0 degrees west, some 250 miles east-northeast of Grand Turks and Turks and Caicos Islands, 690 miles south-southwest of Bermuda. Franklin is moving towards the east-northeast at 6 miles per hour. A northward turn is expected by early next week. Those winds are now sustained at 60 miles per hour with higher gusts. Gradual strength is forecast, and Franklin is expected to become a hurricane over the next few days. Then we're watching a broad area of low pressure in the northern Caribbean Sea. Has a 70% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next couple of days, and we're asking residents in the Bahamas to closely monitor the system as it moves towards the north. And then we have a trough of low pressure. The remnants of Tropical Storm Emily has a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. And then an area of low pressure midway between the Cabo Verde Islands and the northern Les Antilles. This system has a 50% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next few days. On the local scene, weak high pressure down the feature across the islands, and through the weekend have some troughing across the northwest Bahamas, just north of Grand Bahama and Abaco, and that trigger pockets of some showers across the northern islands. In your marine forecast today, those winds northerly at 10 knots or less, seas 1 to 3 feet. On Saturday, those winds northeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet, northwest Bahamas, light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet, or the central and southeastern islands. On Sunday, across all the islands, those winds will be light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet. Your tides. You can expect low tide at 8:35 this morning. Next high tide will be at 3:14 this afternoon. Low gain tonight at 9:48. Sunset 7:35 this evening. Rising 6:47. UV index 8. Your water temperature 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and your moon phase now moving towards the first quarter. Your extended look. Lovely weekend in store weather-wise. Weak high pressure across the islands will trigger off sunny skies, hot and humid conditions, light winds. And so for the most part, lots of sunshine over the weekend, hot and humid conditions, though temperature daytime will be in the lower 90s, at nighttime upper 70s to lower 80s. That's what's wrong with your look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Davriel.
Thanks, Godfrey. The Department of Labor is preparing to host their registration drive for Bahamian professionals. With me now to tell us more about this is Simone Thurston, Acting Assistant Director with responsibility for Public Employment Services Unit at the Department of Labor. Good morning, Simone, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
So tell me, what is this registration drive and what is the point behind this initiative?
Okay, so on Saturday, August 26th, the Department of Labor will be hosting its first annual registration drive at our Carmichael Road location. And we're going to be there between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So the purpose of this drive, we have a skills bank. In that database, we have over 118,000 job seekers registered in that database. However, we are seeking to register more Bahamian professionals into our skills bank.
So why is this so important for our community?
The Department of Labor's mission is to secure and safeguard employment for all. And so for us at the Department of Labor, we are always adamant about finding employment for Bahamians. And not just the line staff work, we're interested in our Bahamian professionals being employed in managerial position in those professional areas as well. We know we have the skills, we have the talents here, and so we want to get those persons into our skills bank, because unless they are registered into our skills bank, we are not aware of what's available to us. And so when a position becomes available...
are there any specific types of professionals?
Yes, we're looking for engineers, we're looking for certified accountants, we're looking for bankers, IT specialists, web designers, even those positions like certified mason, carpenters, skilled carpenters. We need certified plumbers, all of those areas, even down to professional dancers. We need those into our skills bank.
And so you mentioned the skills bank. So can you talk me through how it works for someone who is looking for employment? They register for the skills bank, and then you said you'll find out if a position comes available. How does that process work?
Like I said, we have over 118,000 job seekers registered into our skills bank, and we have employers reaching out to the Department of Labor on a daily basis with job vacancies. And what we would do is go into our skills bank, we would match the resume to the position that's available and do a referral to the employer. So we're not going to send any resume or any job seeker. Those would have been persons who came into the department, met with an officer, and so that officer would know something about the job seeker and their skill type, what they're looking for and what they're capable of doing. And so that is how we refer job seekers to employers.
So the Department of Labor has a headhunting service.
Yes, we do.
So when exactly and where exactly is this registration drive supposed to take place?
This is going to be at our Carmichael Road office. Well, that is where the launch is going to be, at the Carmichael Road office. You'll find the office about 2 doors before you reach Checkers on Carmichael Road, through the service road. And it's going to be again Saturday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we are encouraging all Bahamian professionals to come out and be a part. Come out, register, get into our skills bank. It's ongoing, and I want persons to know, if you're not in Nassau, that won't prevent you from registering with us. During the week, you can go into any one of our islands and register. So we have offices in Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Exuma, Abaco, Bimini, Andros. So you can go into any one of those locations if you happen to be on any of the family islands. But Saturday, we're going to be live at the Carmichael Road office. So come on down, register, ensure to bring your passport, your national insurance card, and a resume with us. If you need assistance with your resume or any other item, we are able to assist you. We are there, we assist. The Department of Labor we are doing lots of wonderful stuff. Persons who are looking for work, if you don't have the proper attire, we have a closet We have persons on standby to assist you with building your resume. So we're there just to assist and ensure that as many Bahamians become employed as possible.
So what I'm hearing is if someone says that they can't find a job and they haven't visited the Department of Labor, it sounds like they're making excuses. They have no excuse.
You're absolutely correct. Jobs are available and we are there to refer persons for employment.
Okay. Now you mentioned if folks can't make it on the weekend from between 9 and 1, what are the hours that they can visit the office during the week?
9 to 4, we are there.
Okay. And if people want to find out more, you know, you mentioned the closet, you mentioned resume services, which are so important for those who are looking for jobs. If they want to find out more about the Department of Labor and all of the services that you offer, where do they go?
The Department of Labor has a Facebook page. We have a location at Robinson Road. We have an office at the Carmichael, and we are located at Rosetta Street. So they can come visit any one of those locations and find out more about the Department of Labor and our services, as well as visit our Facebook page. And we are also, they can also log on to jobseekers.bahamas.gov.bs and register.
I'm going to need you to repeat that URL one more time.
jobseekers.bahamas.gov.bs.
That is excellent. And can you tell me, have you seen any success stories yourself? You know, someone who may have been discouraged about finding a job, perhaps they didn't have the resources to have the wardrobe or the resume. Have you yourself observed anyone who thought they weren't eligible for a position and then ended up finding one?
All the time. We, during the job fairs that we have, we will always find that those persons who come and they're not properly attired, once we assist them with clothing, they go into the interview and they come out successful. And so it's always good to see that because, of course, when they come there, they're looking for a job, they're unemployed, so they're a bit down. And so by the time we finish clothing them and they're through with the interview, they come out and they're excited because it's like, wow, I got through. You know, I'm going to start work. So it's always a good thing when we can see that happen. And sometimes we have persons who come into the department, they may not be in the best position to secure employment for whatever reason, personal reasons, but we have our PES officers. They're so talented, they're so dedicated to the cause. They will sit with them, coach them, assist them with how they can go about finding documents to get something started on their own and become an entrepreneur. And stories like that is always, always overwhelming.
That is excellent, and that is some excellent work that you all are doing there. It's wonderful to know that people can get all of the resources that they need, top to bottom, to get them in the career that they need to be in. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us on this morning's show.
Thanks for having me.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while doing my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been?
Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not Nua. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back. Our good friend Dr. Carlos Thomas is here. He's a pediatrician with Pediatrics Associates, and he's here to talk to us about back to school and how we can help protect our little ones. Good morning, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Bahamas.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. This is the time of year, right? And it's back to school, and it sounds so great. It's like Christmas is right around the corner. But we're getting ready to send our children back to school, so we're so happy that you're here to talk with us. What are some general health and wellness tips that parents should consider as they prepare to send their children back to school?
So let's begin with the basics, Mark. It's important that your child has a well child visit. So it's time to go to the doctor in preparation for school so you can have a full evaluation, check on their height and weight. We're having an epidemic of overweight children. You probably know that. We're having lots more children who are way too heavy. And so that's very important. Make sure the vaccines are up to date. That's also very important. One of the things that's crept into our society over the last 10 years is the increased use of screen time. So our children spend a lot of time looking at television or their iPads. And so we're seeing an increasing number of children with some visual acuity problems. In fact, the American Academy recommends that children have their first formal exam, eye exam, between age 4 and 6. Wow. And then, depending how the outcome may be even yearly. So it's very important to have your child have a full physical examination.
So how do parents prepare? How important is it that they actually prepare for this wellness check before the new academic year? I mean, some might say, oh, my child looks fine, I don't need to do that. Just stress the importance of why they should be doing this wellness.
Well, many of our schools require a health checkup before admission. Certainly if it's a new school or a new grade. So that's very important because it's just an opportunity once a year to have your child evaluated to see how well he's growing, how well she's growing, and development as well. Very, very important. Vaccines are crucial, and we're having many patients who are not fully vaccinated, and that's a problem.
Well, that's my next question. So speaking of vaccines, so I remember in primary school we did what, MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella.
Yes.
And that was obviously traumatic as a child, right?
Of course.
Getting your needles. But what do you recommend now in terms of vaccines that should be required or considered for children heading back to school?
All the vaccines that you had as a child are still relevant. One of the very interesting things is that whenever vaccine rates decrease, we see diseases start to re-emerge. So even the old ones like the measles, mumps, rubella are still very important. There are two more that's been added since you were a child.
Right.
One is a very important vaccine against a bacteria called pneumococcus that causes pneumonia and meningitis and the like. That's been around since the year 2000, available locally since 2012. The other vaccine is one that your child drinks that protects against a virus called rotavirus that causes vomiting and diarrhea, gastrointestinal illnesses. But they're very, very important.
So we'll get back to vaccines. So we know that, all right, when we send our children to school, that somewhere within that first week or two, somebody's coming home with the sniffles, or somebody might come with a cough, or they have a stomach bug. Is this a normal part of your child reassimilating into the school, and is it something that we should be worried about?
It is not unusual to see children becoming ill in the first few months, having been away from school for several months, and back into the classroom, closed, sharing the same airspace and so on. But I don't want to forget the importance of sleep, so let's talk about that for a minute.
Let's go.
So during the summer, children stay up later, they wake up later, and the Sunday before school is too late to go back to bed. So for the younger children, maybe a whole week at very minimum of going to bed early as after school time to get your body rested. The younger your child is, the more sleep they need. The average teenager needs at least 8 hours of sleep per day. Your 6 to 12-year-old need at least 10 hours of sleep per day, including naps. And your younger child may need even 12 hours of sleep per day.
What about parents? I can get 12 hours sleep.
Not always easy to achieve that.
I know, right? So what are some effective hygiene practices that could help? So we talked about sleep that would help to build up your immunity, your resistance. But what are some other hygiene practices that you can teach your children to help reduce the incidences of bringing home germs and bugs from school?
So we have to teach and model hand washing. I believe one of the good things that may have come out of the pandemic is that people became more aware of the importance of hand hygiene. And children touch things, touch surfaces, hands in the mouth, share toys. So teaching and practicing at home hand hygiene and modeling in front of your children is very, very important. And stress it and stress it. Maybe pack hand sanitizers if you need to. That's one. So we spoke about rest, which is important, hand hygiene. How about a healthy breakfast? Very, very important that we have our children having breakfast before school. Some school programs offer breakfast at school, I understand. But that's very, very important. And packing healthy snacks. Not just chips, but get your children into the habit of eating fruits and vegetables. And it begins very, very early. If you teach your child when they're 1 and 2 and 3 to eat vegetables and fruit, it becomes normal.
You know, right now, since the pandemic with my boys and they would come home from school, I had a routine. You get to the door, shoes off, clothes off, wash your hands. Like, just drop everything there at the door. I'm going to spray you down with alcohol, right? This was in the middle of the pandemic.
Sure.
But now, you know, at least try to stress. I have 2, you know, young babies at home, the twins. And so I'm always constantly worried about they're going to come home from school and they're going to walk right up to their sibling and just touch them and boom, now they have picked up a bug. So I agree with the hand washing, but I thank you for bringing up the sleep portion. And of course, packing healthy lunches is an important part, having nutrition. So how can we teach our children? You mentioned about modeling hand washing. How do we teach them about also respiratory etiquette? So I have a cough, my nose is running, you know, I'm not just spraying it out there like a sprinkler.
Sure.
How do we teach them that as well? What's the
You know, the best way to teach a child is to model good behavior. So you just do the exercise. Teach Johnny, Michelle, how to sneeze in her elbow or in a tissue or a handkerchief, how to wash your hands afterwards. Very, very important. And you do these exercises at home all the time. It becomes very, very a part of their way of life.
And I know it's not always easy for a child to remember, but with repetition and once again modeling that behavior, they should pick it up. Any other tips that you would give to parents?
Let's talk about something as simple as knapsacks. Parents are going out to buy their knapsacks. There's some recommendations. Some of these knapsacks are way too heavy and can cause strain on the neck, shoulder pain, and back pain. So there's some guidelines that are helpful for parents. One, your child's knapsack should definitely not be more than 10 to 20% of their body weight. So 10% is a good place to start. If your child's 50 pounds, a 5 pound, maybe 7 pound knapsack. That's one. Two, is better to have broader straps than thin straps, so the weight is more evenly distributed over shoulders. Although it's cool to have your knapsack on one shoulder, we recommend that you use both shoulders. And pull the straps tight enough so it's just above the waist as opposed to hanging down. Those things are very important. As your child gets older, some schools offer lockers, encourage them to leave some of their books that they're not using in the locker.
Yeah, and I actually never thought about that. I do look at my children sometimes and they're loaded down and they get all their books sent home, and you know, I would lift their bag into the school for them when it looks like that. That's a great tip. I appreciate that. Before we wrap up, what do you want to say to parents, teachers, anybody in the school system at the moment as we approach this new school year? For the parents and teachers, how do we take care of our health? I know you're a pediatrician, right? But what tips do you have for parents and teachers?
You got to be healthy if your child's gonna be taken care of, right? So you have to sleep well, eat well, exercise. We teach our children the importance of exercise, fun exercises. If you make exercise fun and encourage your child to do something that they enjoy, swimming, tennis, running around the house, that's very, very important. The beginning of the school year gives us a great opportunity to reset, to restart. And it's vitally important that parents pay take a role in their child's education, which means reading over their homework, checking on them, making sure they're not just wasting time. The older child can stay in their room and do their homework. The younger ones have to be supervised to make sure they're not wasting time.
Yes. And lastly, I want to talk about car seats. We have, I have young babies, so to me it's a given. I need a car seat for them.
Yes.
At what age should we be using car seats, and how do we protect our children in the vehicles on the way home or on the way to school?
Car seats from the time you're born, if you're driving a car. The rear facing for the younger child, forward facing for the older child, 2 years and older. When they're tall enough, a booster seat. They should always be properly secured, always. Even your teenagers. We recommend that children stay in the back seat up to age 12 or 13, and it's important to buckle up.
You mean I can't put my baby in my lap while I drive it, and
Absolutely not. And we see that way too often.
Yes.
We see that way too often. So it's very important that we teach our children proper health. And health means not just physical, but common sense things like being safe.
Yep. Being safe, buckling up, teaching your children how to cross the street, knowing how to interact with strangers, being respectful, all of these skills, it's a continual learning process.
Absolutely.
But as you mentioned, it's the beginning of the school year. It's a great time to reset and form new habits after the summer of slacking off and having fun. So we thank you for coming on the show again this morning, Dr. Thomas, giving us all the reminders how to keep our children safe and healthy for a new school year. And we look forward to speaking with you again. And hopefully everybody can have their kids sniffle and snot free for the first few months.
It's a pleasure to be here. I look forward to seeing you next time.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Take care.
You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. School is back. We'll be right back.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is here. 'Cause when I turn to party, this broken, I got me wet. So, boy, my island's in the sun.
Fly free from Nassau. Visit BahamasResidence.com for details.
It has been another fantastic Friday here on Bahamas at Sunrise. I feel like we covered a lot of bases in terms of getting ready for the school year, but also getting ready for the work year.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Thomas just said, we're at the beginning of a new school year, time to reset those habits, push through, because you know what, right around the corner, I ain't gonna say it, John Canoe right there. we just about in September. The Sharks are busy, and I could smell the conch fritters in the air, right?
Oh, Christmas is practically upon us. Really, I don't know where this year went.
Yeah, but we're so happy that you joined us this morning. Up with us dead early as normal. You have yourself a productive weekend, and we look forward to catching up with you on Monday. Thanks for being with us.